Rain, my Cane Corso, and we are ready to play. Kind of ready to play, right? Because you've already had a big workout this morning. Not really. He kind of slowed around a lot. And Homegirl, my Rottweiler, got zero exercise this morning. She refused, y'all. This is the first time my Rottweiler made a decision to say, nah, I'm not going to exercise. Let's go talk to her real quick. Storm, I got to know. Tell us why you decided to forego your workout this morning. What was up with that? Can you give us an explanation? Inquiring minds want to know why, in fact, did you skip out on your workout this morning? You want to give us some insight on how that decision was made?
Yeah, well, it starts with me being kind of sore, and I make conscious decisions not to exercise when I'm sore.
Okay, that's a good reason. Okay, I hear you out. That's fair. That's fair. So if you're unfamiliar with my dogs, I have a Rottweiler and a Cane Corso. My Rottweiler is, in fact, almost 5 years old. She'll be five coming up in a couple months. My youngster here, which he's in fact a youngster because he's only 2 years old, he will be three coming up September, I believe. But he's growing. He's getting big. But this girl here, she's my beautiful and very, very obedient Rottweiler who enjoys life to the fullest and is, in fact, a runner. Okay, she loves to run. And I'm not talking about distance running, I'm talking about she likes to sprint. She is a sprinter by nature, also naughty by nature, but she's a sprinter by nature. And my dog has always been that way ever since she was a little girl. This girl has very, very strong behaviors. Strong in the sense that she's strong-willed, she's very jealous. You have to offer her a lot of correction sometimes just because she's unfair to other people or other dogs in response to her wanting the attention. It's not always a good thing, but that's kind of innate to her. I can do my best to try to make her be more relaxed and more, chill out whenever she's asking for attention. But it's in her nature, y'all. So if you ever had a Rottweiler, let me know if you experience the same thing I have with this girl. She's just very, 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 very jealous. And she's still a loving dog, lover of the pieces, but she is jealous. Lord have mercy. So between her and this Cane Corso here, they compete for attention a lot. And so what I do a lot is I just try to make sure they individually get attention, and I make sure the other one knows it. I'm like, you're gonna sit here and watch me give this other guy some love or this other girl some love, and you're gonna be cool with it. And that's just to keep down like fights and stuff. You've got to accept me giving another dog affection. That is how this is gonna work in my house. You know what I mean? And with big dogs like this, you know, if they get in their minds that they're gonna do something or they're gonna get upset about something or retaliate, you're talking about some serious damage. And we're not having that in my home. We're gonna have a peaceful home. Isn't that right, girl? So tell everybody why you made the decision you made this morning, guys, because I was really surprised. I've never seen, like I said, my Rottweiler, if you watched her run, you would have thought she was a Doberman. Like, she just loves the sprint. Sprinting is just her thing. This guy here, he'll sprint too, but he don't really like love it like she does. She's always been that way. If you go back and look at some of my older videos, I used to put my dogs on my trike, my bike, and it's a trike. It's three wheels. I'm sitting low, and they're harnessed on either side of my bike. This girl here takes off, man, and when she takes off, you are flying. She absolutely loves it. Hey, Ro, what's going on? No, this is a full. Both of them are full-blooded. This is a 100% Rottweiler, 100% Cane Corso. But she just absolutely loves to run. So this morning, we got up and if you follow us, you know that we exercise. I try to do it every other day, if not every day. And and I can explain the reason why. I mean, if you're new to dogs, you got to understand dogs need exercise. People buy them like furniture, and dogs are not furniture. I guarantee you, they are not meant to be furniture. They need to be doing this. They need to be panting and sweating, and and because they feel more satisfied like this. Like right now, these guys are extremely happy. I mean, she's okay because she skipped her workout this morning. Bom dia, Maria, Morina Moriera. Yeah, he had his workout, so he's extremely happy. But she made the decision today that she wasn't going to work out. And like I said, that is a first for us, a absolute first. Like I've never seen her turn down a workout. It was, I don't know, maybe she's getting older and she's picking and choosing when she wants to work out. But for her to make the decision this morning it blew my mind. And so the way we do it, we come out here and this big boy, he gets a little bit like he doesn't know because he has two forms of workout. He works out outside, and I work him out in my inside my house too. So I have a treadmill over there, and so he'll work out if we don't come outside. Like if I got to go to work early and it's super dark, I'll just put him on the treadmill because he needs the exercise more than she does. He's younger and he gets way more destructive when he's bored. So I target his exercise. I prioritize his exercise over hers because she's just such a good dog. When I'm gone, she doesn't really do anything, doesn't tear anything up. She just likes to lay around until I come home. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't need exercise. She needs plenty of exercise and she loves it. It makes her more happy and satisfied as a dog. They live better lives when when they've had exercise. So I just, I'm from Texas. I'm a, I'm an American, and anyway, so yes, they just live better lives and they're more content. So I like to rub her down her head like this. She loves it. She's a sweetie pie. Yeah, it just so they need that workout, that exercise. Um, More so this guy here. I mean, oh, she wants more, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. She says, "Give me more. I want more, 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 more." Y'all been working on her nails too, y'all. Look at them long nails. We could talk about that too a little later, but she's jealous. See, this is what I mean by her being super jealous. Now watch this. I'm gonna try to pretend to. Oh, stop my hand. She stops me. She says, "Daddy, no, don't stop. Don't you stop it. Oh, don't rub on him." So watch me. I'm gonna go ahead and rub on him, and she's gonna have to accept it. Okay, so she's choosing to ignore me doing this, but it's okay. But so I do this very, very often, guys. If you notice your dogs are having like issues of like overreacting to something, that means you have to work on it. So I'm gonna give him love, and she's gonna have to watch me give the Connie Corso love because I want her to look at that. She's cutting her eyes at me. She has to realize this. She has to accept it. It's part of living here. Is everybody gets love. Connie Corso, Rottweiler, everybody gets love. DD burgers. What are you talking about, Trevor? So the routine is when we're working out, especially on the weekends. I love to do this on weekends. I get up early, and like I said, it's a crapshoot for him because he's always wondering, is he gonna do the treadmill today, or is he gonna go outside in the fresh air and get the smell of the flowers and the other dogs in the neighborhood? So this guy is always on wondering what's gonna happen. We come out here and I put on their slip leashes all around their necks, and then I go and I jump on my golf cart over there. I back out, and then we hit the road. And they love to take off with a sprint. That's their favorite thing to do. These dogs here just love that initial boom. Mandy Penny, what's going on? Hey, they love it. And so, especially my Rottweiler, y'all, especially the Rottweiler. But you know what she did this morning? This dog here. Do you know what she did? I put the leash on her. I put the leash on him. I backed the golf cart out to the gate. And she looked at me and said, nope. And she went inside the house, y'all. That is a first. That is, girl, can you explain to everybody why you did that? Like, I'm still baffled. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Can you believe it? She turned it down, y'all. And that is her favorite thing to do. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. That is her favorite thing to do is to run and sprint. She loves it. And it wasn't just like a couple days ago. I want to say it was Thursday, maybe Friday morning. I took them for a run and she was her old peppy self. This girl, where's it? Look at that Connie Corso, y'all. He's going in the house. Rain, where are you going, buddy? Why are you going in the house? Is it getting too hot for you? Come here. So this is important, guys. If your dog follows your commands like that, come here. This is super, super important because this is a very strong-willed dog. If you ever had a good boy, that's a good boy. You deserve all the love for being, for that perfect recall. Well, almost perfect. I had to say it twice. But is it good enough for you to get some love? You did a good job, buddy. That's a good boy. Recalling an animal that big is super important. If you've never had a big dog, you don't understand how important that is to have an animal this size. And it's like he's my baby, but I'll call him an animal for now. He's an animal. Yeah, you an animal, right, boy? You an animal. But to have have that type of recall is very, very important because you need to have that level of control. Now, there was a low stimulus there. He probably just wanted to go inside to get some water. So the drive for him versus getting pets and love is a lot higher for the love than it is probably for the water right now. So it's a very low test. Okay, the power of that test is very, very low. But we are working on when things are more stimulating to have that same recall. Oh, look at you, how submissive, y'all. He's showing one of the most submissive things. If your dog does this is one of the most submissive things they can do is roll over and show you their belly. He's not really on his back showing me his belly, so that's probably even more. But for him to lay down like this is just really a nice submissive, calming. And you should love your dog when they do this. Say, this is what you encourage them to do. Encourage them to be this way, and they get love for it. You get love when you are being obedient and submissive. So, yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dog was on the leash when I was walking him, and he busted off the leash to chase a squirrel. So yeah, bro. I grew up with big dogs. Oh yeah, yeah. So you have an idea what I mean. It's like it's super important especially if they're kind of prone to not like strangers. If they bust off that leash and go and attack your neighbor or whatever, and depending on what state you're in, that dog could be pretty much gone, and you can be paying fines and stuff like that. So it's not just a good thing for the dog, but it's just it's safe for everybody to have that level of training for your dog, especially these big dogs. What the dog doing? He's just wanting some love. So, okay, now we're here. Now that's the greatest. There we go. That boy is saying he's like being the most submissive. This is what you encourage. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. Rolling over and showing you their belly. Oh man, this dog is telling me he's submitting and he's enjoying it. It's a perfect life right now. Now let's look and see how the Rottweiler's taking this. She's doing really, really well, y'all. Dog needs a drink of water. Yes. So W, my dog can go in the house at any time to get water. Matter of fact, he don't even have to go inside the house. They've got like 4 3-gallon tanks of water in the house. You got to always make sure these dogs here, they can dehydrate pretty easy. So you got to have them make sure they have, what's that on your head, boy? Got a little bump on your head. You got to make sure they always have water. So let me show you his other form of water that he can get, as long as he doesn't check it out. Let's go get some water, buddy. Come on. Let's get some water. Show everybody how easy it is for you to get water. He struggles with this, y'all, so he may not like it, but we'll see how he does. Get some water. Get some water. Put your paw in there. Get some water. Let me see your paw. So yeah, so they can get water, and this is directly tied. It's kind of splashy, which I don't think he appreciates very much. But you got to keep your paw in there. Nope, he wants me to do it for him. That's why he keeps stopping it. So this is tied directly to the faucet over here. So it's unlimited water, and of course, we have all that softened water and all that good stuff. You want more water? I know you do, buddy. Keep going. The funny thing about it is, y'all, this dog knows how to do this. I mean, Cane Corsos are extremely intelligent dogs. He just don't want his feet wet. So if you don't want to get the water from out here, you have to go inside the house, buddy, and get water. Come on. He's like, I don't want to get splashed. Stay there. Get your water. Okay. It's like getting splashed all over the place. So, push come to shove, they have access to that water 24/7. I mean, they go have a doggy door, so they come out and get water if they need it. That's if they ever run out of those 4-gallon. It's like I think we have 3 4-gallon tanks inside the house. They're big tanks, whatever the size they are, they're big. So they stay watered. Now my Rottweiler, on the other hand, my Rottweiler, she is great. Stormy, do you want some water? Do you want water? Go get some water. Go get some water. No? You don't want any water? Okay. Well, she didn't work out, so she's probably not really all that thirsty. You want some water? No? Okay. Yeah, so at user says, say hi. Hey, what's up? At user 1. Do not give water when dog is warm and panting. No, in this case, he got water on his own volition, so he's all right. Beware of bloat. Yeah, so I don't know if you're talking about gastric volvulus or not, but if you're talking about gastric volvulus, that's a whole different topic. I can explain that to you as well if that's what you're concerned about. So, and I talk about that a lot too, because I think it's one of those things that could be a problem if you're not aware of it. If you have big dogs, and let's say, for instance, I fed them first, and I gave him. He eats kibble right now. I prefer him to be on less kibble and more whole food, but right now we're using kibble. They get that dry kibble, and then they get a bunch of water, and it gets in their stomach after they've eaten it. And if they go work out or they go run or play, it's like a heavy rock in their stomach. Imagine a bunch of rocks and water in a bag, and as they play, it can actually flip and twist on itself. And when it flips and twists on itself, it causes an obstruction, and the blood supply gets cut off. The flow doesn't move on, so it starts to get enlarged and bloating, and they can actually die from that. It's called gastric volvulus, but I think it's gastric dilatation and volvulus. But either way, that's a serious condition. So that's why we never feed and eat before we work out. We always work out first, and like they haven't eaten this morning, but he's already done with his workout. As soon as we get done with this live stream, we're gonna go inside and get some food. Yeah, so GDV, yeah, exactly, gastric dilatation and volvulus. So that's why we are very, very careful when we feed and when we play. So we play first, or we work out first, we eat, then we rest and digest for several hours, and then they'll play again probably later on this afternoon. It's a very serious thing, but yeah. Yeah, exactly, user 1. So user 1 is actually saying the same thing I just mentioned. I said I prefer them to not be on processed kibble. I prefer to be on raw. But raw is a different beast, right? Raw diet, there has to be considerations for the proportions and the type of food that they have. So they can't just have a bunch of bones, a bunch of, muscle. They have to have a proportion of liver, and they've got to have like things like organ meats. Percentage of most of it has to be a percentage of muscle. The largest percentage needs to be muscle fibers, but there needs to be percentages of other things, and there may be supplements that you may need as well, and or like things like chicken feed for collagen and things like that. So it's a whole different ball of wax, and it does require research if you're going to do raw diet. That's the reason why we're kind of slow about getting there, is because of the amount of effort per meal that I don't have the time for necessarily. And you can say, well, bad on you. Well, I can hear that. I hear that very, very, very loudly. But I will say this, that veterinarians, and you can argue that their training is biased, but veterinarians do recommend that the proportions of all the vitamins and minerals that your dog needs to at least maintain their life, it may not be the optimal, is accounted for in the kibble that you buy, and most kibble that you buy. So playing it safe. So if you are not familiar with raw diet and you have done the research, I would definitely stick with the kibble until you are able to get to the point where you figured out how to give your dog raw diet. But I wouldn't just willy-nilly tell someone to do raw diet if they don't know what they're doing. So be very careful with that. It's better, but it's better unless, assuming you know what you're doing, it's better. Crazy, what's up? Hi there, watch out for the tiny fighting dog. Oh, I know, you know where she's at? She is sleeping with mom. I think she's in the house sleeping with mom. Oh, La Fundación Raw. Ooh, is that like in the United States? Oh, look at her, she's playing. Let's go see her. I've got to check those out. My dog's been digging holes, y'all. That's why I have this ugly looking gate laying across my yard, because I'm trying to stop them from digging. Hey, big girl. I gotta check out that place, La Fundación Raw. Hey, is you my baby? Yes, she's my baby. Showing off her belly and everything. Oh, now watch the Connie Corso's getting jealous. He's like, "What y'all doing over here?" Because I'm gonna use this opportunity to check out her toy that she was playing with to see if I like it. Oh, what was that? What'd you see, girl? What'd you see? Oh, oh, oh. I'm not gonna stop because he shows up. Don't worry. She got worried that I was gonna stop rubbing her because he shows up. Oh, slobber man. He's like, I may not can make you stop, but I'm gonna slobber you to death. Man, ain't that complicated? Good dog trainers and vets can help you out with the feeding plan, and you can prepare your freezer. Yeah. That makes sense. It's not that complicated, you know. I hear you. But let me tell you, it's still extremely convenient to take a scoop or two and throw it in the bowl. Is it the best thing for your dog? Absolutely not. Would not recommend it over a raw if you're doing it the correct way. But I'm just telling you, people are people. And when you ask them to do, look how she's limping a little bit, y'all. That's why she skipped out on her workout. When you're talking about people that are willing to do a little bit of research, but not all the way, you know, and they're just like buying some chicken and throwing some chicken legs in there and not feeding their dogs anything else, I'm really hesitant to be like, jump on the, you know, it's not that bad, you know, if they're not willing to do the rest of it. That's my only complaint. If you're cool with it and you have the time and energy, go for it. I totally think it's better for your dogs, and I'd love to be there myself. And I have gone, you know, I've done some meals that way. She particularly loves it. He, on the other hand, he kind of will, he'll look at the egg, the raw egg, or he'll look at the ground beef if I use the ground beef, whatever. But he is very, very like selective when he eats a raw diet. She will eat everything from the bones, the chicken feet, the heart, the liver. That is her thing. She loves raw. So I totally recommend it. And if you have the time and you can do that, and you are willing to put in the research, because again, you need to protect your dogs. You don't be don't jump in there head first, and your dog has to pay the price for your ignorance. Please don't do that. That's what I'm saying. If until you can get there, you know, I trust the kibble. It's not the best, but I do trust the kibble. Now, here's another thing. I think you can. There's like several recipes to make your own kibble too. Like you can boil that up and make it yourself. I think that's probably even better than the store-bought kibble. So there's options out there, guys. There's options. There's options. Ain't that right, big girl? We're going to get it right, though. We're going to get it right. It's just the question raw. It's expensive compared with kibble. Yeah, you know, okay, so Crazy, do you remember how one of our moderators mentioned about going to the butchers, because you can get a lot of what you need raw. You can get it for free. They often have a lot of parts that they don't want to sell, and if you're willing to dig in there and find the pieces that the like the whatever the muscle fibers that are left in there, because usually they sell the muscle for the most part, but sometimes they leave quite a bit of muscle in there, and you can get it for free. Stock up on it. Now I'm sure they want you to be a patron of the business. They want you to buy something, but essentially it's free for them. So we have a what's he going on your ears? Your ears are dirty, baby. We have a butcher, I'd say about 20 to 30 miles from my house, and their hours are a little bit difficult. So I would go, but I'd have to leave work early, and sometimes didn't have the luxury to do so. So that's kind of one of the barriers that I have when it comes to trying to do raw. And then you have to have the storage for all the parts until you're ready to use them. So it's a little more involved, but I got to check that La Fundación raw and see how their process works. Rich owns LA. Okay, and gets you a Pressa YouTube channel. Best kennel setup in America. Ooh, okay. Order from Rich. Okay, I gotta check them out. So Crazy says I prepare once a month and freeze for the convenience to just open the freezer. By the way, they also sell frozen prepped raw food, at least in Europe. So Crazy, I think that's what user one is saying is looks like Rich actually will do the same thing. You can feed waste category 2 and 3, and but hard to get there. Get here ain't Europe. Hard to get there. Oh yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Crazy on that one. So Ben 10 says, "Nice dog, thank you. So I appreciate that." Yeah, my Rottweiler is a beautiful, very very well adjusted family dog. She's just not great with strangers, unfortunately, and that's my fault because I haven't been the best with socializing her. Well, that's okay for now. That's going to be a future task. So as you can, if you have a big dog, just realize there's always going to be things that you can improve on. And I think as long as you're trying and you're making that effort to improve their lives, these dogs appreciate it. You know what I mean? Do your best. Do your absolute best. Learn about all the downfalls, like we were talking about earlier, the gastric volus and dilatations issue. Those things are very, very they're well known, but they're not necessarily well advertised for people to know when they upgrade. I say upgrade, but that's not the right word. When they switch to having a bigger dog, they have to be mindful of those things like that. And you got to be in spaces where they're talking about those issues. So if you're not doing so and you're kind of ignorant to those things, it's nice to be a part of a community. I'm not advertising necessarily for myself, but because there's people that are way more popular than I am that talk about these things. But I'm just a Saturday morning, Sunday morning kind of guy. I come out here with my dogs. I'm not a trainer, but I do try to promote some of those healthy things. And I have people that come on, like Crazy and User One. They're up here giving awesome advice. So, this is a place that you can find some of this weird, off the beaten path little issues that you've never heard of. You know what I mean? That you want to be aware of before you get to the big dogs. Yeah, we need the big dogs. Yeah. Oh, there's Slobber King right there, y'all. My dog could have beat your dog. What are you talking about, little bug? I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing that training couldn't. I think you're saying that. Nothing that training could fix. She didn't try to eat every stranger outside, right? Well, yeah, I think actually she kind of does trade crazy. I'm not gonna lie, man. She kind of does want to treat everybody that she doesn't know as a public enemy. Do you know what I mean? So we made a kind of a big push, I'd say a year ago, with her and my dog walker, a babysitter, and we put a muzzle on her, took her to a restaurant, like outdoor restaurant, so that we can meet people, and she was not having it. I made a whole video about that too. She was not having it, y'all. She was like, nope, if you're not family, I'm not about you. So we're like, okay, we got to take a little, baby steps. And so since then, I've taken her to like, like Lowe's, whatever. But it's usually a short. I make it kind of short. I put the muzzle on her, and usually I will say when you muzzle your dog like this, like a Rottweiler or Cane Corso, people don't mess with you because they know that the muzzle means that okay, this dog may bite, so they don't typically approach. But in my case, that's what I want with her. I want people to kind of be a little bit cautious so that they don't overstimulate her. But I want her to start slowly getting used to being next to people that she doesn't know without being reactive to it. So, baby steps. That's what I'm after. Baby steps. Lovebug is talking about dating right now. She's 17 and I'm 35. Lovebug is just like coming up with some random issues over here. Can we talk about dogs? Uh, no, I'm crazy. I think he's just trolling. I'm not gonna lie. I do not think that's serious. It's funny, but not necessarily a good thing. Uh, and now he's defending his position here, y'all. Anyways, back to my dogs. Yeah. But hey, look, y'all, I've never seen my Rottweiler turn down a workout like she did this morning. I thought that was really interesting. She just said, nope, I'm not having it today. Not having it. I put the leash on her and she went back in the house. She said, see ya. But you know what? Him and I had a good time. And I'm glad because I was able to work with him being reactive without her present. So if you're unaware, dogs will feed off of each other's energy. Okay. And there's usually one dog that's a little bit more aggressive than the other. And so she gets triggered, he feeds off her energy. Okay. Which means that she gets off task, it makes him gets off task. So while you're correcting him, he's acting up. While you're correcting him, she's acting up. And they kind of do this little tag team thing. So today it was nice because we were able to see that dog that if you've been around for a while, I've talked about my neighbor having this dog that was free and ran out in the street, try to challenge my dogs, and I didn't appreciate that. Well, he was out today, and thank goodness he's starting. He always has now the dog on leash. So I don't like how it played out. I don't like how we had this Facebook drama and then him trying to be defensive about it. I don't like how that played out. But what I do like is the end result. The end result is my neighbor now uses the leash when he's walking his dog and when he's in the front yard now. So that's great. It's a plus. We're moving in the right direction. But I was glad because they were walking in the street and I had him with me and I was able to get him to be less reactive. Now, it wasn't perfect, but it was less reactive. I gave him a lot of correction and I gave him a lot of negative reinforcement and some positive reinforcement. So he wasn't allowed to go interact with the other dog. He was only strictly supposedly run with me. And so he did very, very well. We passed each other. He wanted to look that direction. He tried to kind of rear up and go faster, but he kept alongside of me. And we passed him up successfully, and I gave him a lot of praise, a lot of love for doing it. So that was a positive. But I will tell you, if she had been there, it wouldn't have been so positive because she would have kind of ignored me and want to go interact with the dog and maybe bite the neighbor who's holding the dog. And then he would have feed off of her energy and they would have kind of both been like, I would have been like yanking collars and telling them to get on course and get back on track. So it was nice actually working with him without her present today. So take it for what that is. Sometimes you have to work with them individually and then come back and work with them together because the end goal is not just to walk them individually. The end goal is to have a good time with both because it's more efficient for everybody. Thank you, Cribby803. Looks like there's all kinds of stuff going on in the background about dating and 13-year-olds and 17-year-olds. I don't know what y'all talk about. I'm talking about dogs. Hope your Sunday is blessed, brother. I appreciate you, Cribby. Everything's good, man. The dogs are happy today. He's had his workout. She's relaxing. It's beautiful out here. The grass is finally green here in Texas. Man, can you imagine? I would not have guessed, but by almost mid-June that we would still be having decent weather because it gets so hot out here, y'all. My dogs hate it. They hate being out in the heat. Workouts are limited to the mornings in the summertime and in the late, y'all, We do not. I mean, because it's still like 90 degrees at 8 o'clock in the evening, y'all, around here. So we have to do early morning or late to avoid some of the heat during the summertime. But now it's beautiful. I mean, like I said, we're probably approaching 80 something right now, and the shade is probably nicer. But these guys they're living their best life. They're about to go in to get breakfast and you know and chill, But everything's everything, y'all. Y'all, I appreciate the lively discussion. I got some work to do, and we're gonna go get some food. I think he's probably hungry. He's working his way towards the. Oh no, he's just getting in the shade. Same in South Carolina. I'm ready for some winter time again, and I'll be ready for summer again. That's how it is, right? Great Kirby is like you're always want what you don't have. It's always better in the winter when it's summertime, and it's always better in summer when it's wintertime. But I will say here in Texas, I'm starting to feel like the winter is way better here than the summers are because it's just such terrible conditions out here when it's over 100 degrees and everybody suffers. Like it's terrible to be inside. I mean, the pool is great, but sometimes it's even too hot to be out here, man. So I'm getting ready to build a cover for the pool so that when it's 103 degrees for the last 3 weeks, we could actually tolerate it and the dogs can have fun out there without burning up. Because it's really super cool out here. I'm not gonna lie, I like being out here in kind of the country, but and I think the dogs appreciate it too. That's one of the reasons why I have the grass like this, and I put forth the effort to keep the grass like this is because I just want the dogs to have a great environment to kind of run around in and not feel like they're gonna get stickers everywhere, and they still fight me, guys. They still like try to they do their darndest to make sure this backyard is torn up, like digging holes and getting dirt all inside the house. But I try harder. I try harder because I'm resilient, right, buddy? I'm military and I'm resilient. Patting his big old thick thighs over here. But yeah, they're having a good day, y'all. Ben 10's got the eyes like ooh. Kirby, they do like to swim, actually. I shouldn't say they. She likes to swim. The Rottweiler is a water fiend. She absolutely adores water. She don't care if it's splashing her face. She don't care if it's running around behind her or in front of her. She don't care if she's dunked in the pool. She absolutely loves water. This guy, not so much. He naturally avoids water being splashed at him, and we use it. My daughter uses it to her advantage when she's trying to correct this guy. But he has taken maybe one or two good swims, and that's it. Only thing he likes to do is kind of stay on the ledge area. It's like he'll get in there, but it'll be like on the shallow portion over there. It's like a beach entrance over there. But this girl here, she'll take over the pool. She'll swim all around. So what I have to do with her is when the family's out here, they are not allowed to get in until the family's done swimming, and then the last 15, 20 minutes or whatever, however long, I'll give it to the dogs. So when the family gets out, or if they're just hanging around the side of the pool, then I let them come in and take over the pool. But they're not allowed to really be in there without me or anyone there to supervise them, and they just don't do it. So luckily they don't jump in. But even if they do, I mean, I got one of those kind of pools where the sides are 45-degree angles, so they can climb out anywhere. If they accidentally fall in, they can get out anywhere. It's not even a problem for them to get out. But anyway. So guys, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me this morning. I'm gonna give she needs some medicine, y'all. I'm gonna give her some ibuprofen. She's really limping, and that's the reason why she didn't want to work out today. She's limping. Oh, my sweetie. We gotta go back to the doctor, see how to check on your leg. Well, she's already been to the vet for it. We got a prescription for her, but we're gonna make sure she's not getting worse, because she's never turned down the workout. That's another warning sign to me, is that she's never turned down the workout. Oh, the Cane Corso? Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big baby. And this guy, he's more friendly with strangers than she is. Like, with one exception. Here's the exception: the fence. He has really bad territorial instincts. I say bad, but he has really strong territorial instincts. So even when my neighbors walk up to the fence line, he pretends like it's an invader that's going to take everything that we've ever owned away from us, and he thinks that it's the end of the world and he must sacrifice his life in defense of our property. That's the way he treats the fence. Okay, he goes bananas. But when we're out and about, like at Lowe's or Tractor Supply store or wherever, he's friendly to everybody. He's like, "Hey, come pet me. I'm cool. I'm the best dog ever. Come love on me." This girl, she's not as offense aggressive as he is, but she hates to meet new people. She's just not about it. If you're not a part of her family, she's not interested and prefer you to get away from her. So they just have weird, different personalities. You know what I mean? How much is the kind of person weigh? Would love him to. I think he's pushing about 130-ish, 135 now. It's been a while since he's been weighed. I think he's about 130. He may be closer to 140. I'm not entirely sure, but I know he's over 120 because he was 120. I want to say months ago, and he's grown since then. So my best guess is about 130. Yeah, he's a big boy. You're a big boy, aren't you? You a big boy? You a big boy? Yeah, you a big boy. You a big boy? Look at them eyes. You a big boy? Aww. Feels good, y'all. In the shade, y'all, it's beautiful out here. All dogs that look like they're game dogs get a lot of hate. Yeah, that's kind of the downfall of a lot having these bigger dogs. Yeah, I hate the way people give pits a bad name. Ooh, are you getting frustrated, girl? What was that about? Sweet baby, but they will protect me though. That's exactly right. Being protective doesn't necessarily mean the dog is a bad dog. It just means the dog is very, very loyal. But the problem is that sometimes people don't secure those dogs. Like here in Texas, we've had all these incidents where people let their dogs loose out of the yard and they go attack some old person and they kill them. And now all of a sudden the whole breed is just trash. And I'm like, okay, that's just a bad owner. You know what I mean? Good morning from the Pity and Kitty Committee. Yay, good morning, y'all. Long time no see. My Cane Corso female got 110 pounds, but she's out of an Italian line that stays smaller compared to the U.S. Cane Corso. Ooh, interesting. She's female too. I wonder if the female is just going to be a little bit smaller also. Doggos, Foodie on the Run. Yes. Good morning, Foodie on the Run. Haas, what's going on, my brother? Got my male pup finally. Bro is huge. Awesome. Congratulations, Haas. My buddy have a alibi. He's 250. Oh my gosh. And these guys are massive. I don't know what to do with a 250-pound dog, y'all. I mean, if I had a 250-pound dog, I don't think I could handle that dog. I really don't think that I could handle a dog that size. Maybe with time. Foodie on the Run, a dog is only what a person makes it. A dog is not to blame for faults, and you certainly cannot blame an entire breed. That's exactly what I mean. You don't blame the entire breed because you were irresponsible to not secure your dogs. That's why one of my main pet peeves, when we first moved at this place, that was we had to build our own fence. But before we even built the fence, we put up we used cattle panel and T-post right around here, so the dogs had room to poop and come out and do some running. But they were completely secure. I'm not talking about this fence here. This is just a decorative fence. But I had a cattle panel fence that was 5 feet high with T-post, so my dogs couldn't get out. Okay, until we were able to finish building the big fence out there. So I'm very, very, very meticulous, very, very meticulous about making sure that my dogs are secure because of that same reason. Anytime they get out, If a little dog gets out, like we have a little dog too inside the house, but when she gets out, nobody cares, right? Nobody says anything. But when these guys, if they ever, which they never have, I'm just saying, if you ever get out, then all of a sudden we can't have large breeds. We Rottweilers are terrible and Connie Corsos, the whole breed is trash. No, 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 no. It's my fault, right? I didn't make it a situation where they were secure. A dog is only. Oh, sorry about that. My cousin had a dog, but dog died at 78. Oh, are you talking about dog years, Philip? Show us the fence that is protecting the neighborhood. I did. There you go. There's a fence right there. It's protecting the neighborhood. I personally paid to have it built. Enjoy the shade, sweet babies. Our puppies are loving summertime too. Yeah, I'm telling you, my dogs love the mornings in summertime. They don't love the rest of the day, but they love the summer, the mornings. 4 months old and 60. Oh, Haas. My goodness, that's going to be a massive dog. That's what I wrote female. Oh, yeah, I got you, crazy. So we were on the same line of thinking there. Which one is the alpha? Of the two, I will say she's more dominant than he is. That she's always had that kind of personality to be more dominant. But obviously the humans are the real alpha. But yeah, how are you? But it's been a while. No worries, no worries, Haas. Working and training. That's what's up. That's where you want to spend your time with. If you have extra time spending on training, that's a great thing. I hear that. I've reduced my YouTube to about literally 1 hour per week. That's how much I spend. I don't even edit videos hardly anymore. I just do live because I don't have to do any editing. And the rest of my time is devoted to family and my pups. So I hear you on that end. Yeah, watch out for those non-trained ankle biters. My dog, my PFP is a red-nosed pit cross. So banned, but the authorities have never questioned me over him. Have any concern because he's docile and a big softie. Yeah, so that's the thing. When your dogs are really docile and nothing has happened, everybody is kind of quiet. But I'm gonna tell you, they're on edge. They're still on edge. Whether if it unless they're dog owners themselves and they understand what's going on, they're probably on edge because when you get bigger dogs, people automatically develop a fear. Automatically, they're afraid. So, and let me be fair. Sometimes dogs may appear docile and they're not. And I will say, prime example, I told this story last week where I took her when she was a puppy, her and her brother, we would take them to the dog parks. And after they were vaccinated, of course. But we socialized her quite a bit as a puppy. She was kind of around people and other dogs a lot because that was what our main thought was. But she got parvo. Her and her brother got parvo. And when she got parvo, she was quarantined. And it was actually during COVID, too, of all the times to have a disease just during a pandemic. But anyways, she got sick and from parvo, y'all. I'm talking about parvo. And we basically had to isolate her because parvo is so very what's the word I'm looking for? It's easy to catch. Like little puppies can get it so you have to be careful, not let your dog poop everywhere, and it stays in the soil forever. I want to say years. It stays intact in the soil. So your little puppy runs around if it's unvaccinated, and it scrapes the soil, it can contract parvo. And if you're not on top of it and get the medical care your dog needs, and fortunately, we were blessed to have insurance. And she was hospitalized for a week and a half. But after that event, quarantining her, we just kind of kept it going. We never stopped quarantining her. We just kind of kept her in the house. We never socialized her again. And so now, later on, years down the road, we're like, okay, maybe we should take them out. And then we realized that she's not socialized. She lost socialization. So one lady at the dog park came up to her and she was acting like she wanted to be petted. She was, because he was being pet by her and he loved it. And she was like, pet me, pet me. And then the lady comes up to my Rottweiler, and she initially acts like she's enjoying it, but then flips on a dime. And luckily I had her. I was very I'm always watching my dogs, y'all, because I'm never 100% relaxed. because I haven't reached that level of trust with my dogs yet, where they can be with anybody at any time, and I'm okay with that. But luckily, my instincts kick in, and I pull that leash real quick. And so when she growled and almost bit this lady, and the lady freaked out and screamed and she spun around because she was scared that my dog was getting ready to bite her, and I think she would have bit her. But luckily, it worked out. I pulled her back in it. But my point is, if you've had an experience where a dog pretends to want you to love on them and then they flip on you like that, that will sit in your mind, and that will like change your perception of that particular dog. Especially that I'm sure that lady will never ever approach a dog that same way with that same level of trust. And unfortunately, I wasn't aware that she was going to behave like that. But I learned, I was like, oh shoot, I've got to be careful now. So because again, like from my perspective is she was socialized, she had parvo, but I wasn't really tracking that she wasn't going to be socialized in, after years of kind of being it was about a year, y'all. I want to say a year that she was we kind of kept her away from everybody and everything and every other dog. But after that time, that was enough for her to not to care for strangers anymore. Anyway, so I'm just getting give strangers treats. Roddy's love food. I'm gonna be honest with you, crazy. I think even if she had given her a treat, she would have accepted it and then try to bite her because she just was not happy with someone that she didn't know touching her. A big reason I got my pity was to help break the stereotype and show people how sweet and loving pitties are. And I think that's a great attitude about the breed. But see, but pity and kitty timidity, you're also doing the work to make sure that that dog is doing appropriate behavior. And I think there are people who get the pit bulls. They want all the attention from having a stronger breed, a very a dog that has the potential to cause harm. They want that stereotype, but they don't want to do the rest of the work necessarily. And that's where I think it gets kind of dangerous when you have the people that want the look but not the work associated with it. That's where I think is a problem. So, but no, it strikes me that you're not that kind of person, and you are in fact being a great representative and ambassador for, I think, for the breed. So kudos to you. Yeah, exactly. You're right. I had the right mentality and did it. Everybody loves Luna. Yeah, so that's fantastic. Um, I love it. I love it. I love it. Chris V says she senses fear. Maybe. I mean, I know that dogs can smell like your cortisol. Like if cortisol is the hormone that your body produces in a fight or flight response. So if you're scared or something is about to happen, to pop off, then the cortisol kicks up, and then my understanding is dogs can smell that, and so they in fact can smell fear. Learning the recall. Yes, 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 yes. It's strange that the breeder didn't vaccinate for parvo. That would have done it. So crazy. Let me talk about that real quick because she was fully vaccinated before we took them out of the house to go anywhere. They were fully vaccinated. Okay. So that's the one thing that we didn't know about Rottweilers, that they can be vaccinated for parvo and still get it. It's not necessarily 100% effective. And and you say, well, you may be lying. No, I'm not lying. Let me tell you. So we went to our vet. Now, if it wasn't for the nurse at the hospital to tell us, because they asked me the same question, like, what is why are you bringing me this parvo infected dog? Did you not vaccinate your dog? I'm like, no, they're vaccinated. Well, she's like, well, if that's the case, then what you can do is you can go to the drug company that makes the vaccine and tell them, listen, my dog caught the disease that we use your product to protect against, and they will contribute. And they, in fact, gave us money. So Merck, the company that made the vaccine, gave us money towards, they capped it off at, like, I want to say, what did they give me? $5,000? I think they gave me $5,000. Of course the bill was like, what was it, $32,000 for a week and a half for her and a week for her brother. So it was money. It helped out. But it still brings home the point that that even though she was vaccinated, now we had to prove the veterinarian had this the lot number and everything that they used to vaccinate my dogs with, but they were vaccinated. So Foodie on the Run says, Haas, I can't zoom in to see, but it sound beautiful colors. What are we talking about? I changed my oh, so you can see him. The photos at the 3-month-old. Oh yeah, I see it, Haas. I see. It's kind of black, right? Hey, Hoss, you still here? Oh yeah, yeah. I see your comment. Oh, beautiful. Channel activity. I wish I can't really get. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to try to go to your page because I know you do Discord or something, right, Haas? But I've never been able. I'm not been successful with that. Foodie on the Run says turn a blind eye to a lot of law breaking. Adrenaline. Yeah, crazy. That's right. So that's what I mean by cortisol. I only got bitten from land sharks, aka Belgian Shepherd and boxers. Oh, pity. Oh, no problem. I see where you're going with that. And he's a sweet boy, but he will run into things at full speed without care sometimes. I love Rotties. They can be such big, soft teddy bears in the right hands. They can, you know. And I will say, Foodie on the Run, she is absolutely amazing with family. Like, she is the absolute best with family. She wants to please everybody. She doesn't want any trouble. She wants love from my mom and dad, my wife's parent, her, you know, her parents, anybody that she knows as family. She loves to death, and it's really, really, really. Yeah, you have Discord. I only managed to have my dog because I had rehomed him for someone who had illegally but went to prison and became homeless. So rehomed the dog is to me. Oh wow. Well, kudos to you, Foot on the Run. Kudos to you for saving that dog. Crystal Luck. Dog day of rest. Humans have one. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So Crystal Luck says our pot was dumped. Our pit was dumped. I think that's what you're saying. He definitely has changed his mind about the pit breed. He's absolutely amazing. My family was fearful about pits. They aren't anymore. I as his pit mama stay on top of the training. Yeah. So I think Crystal, you. It's just like what we were talking about with Foodie on the Run. You are like an ambassador. The more that you show how that these dogs are not what people say, because pit bulls are absolutely sweet dogs. They are in the right hands. They are absolutely sweet. Everyone I've ever seen that I worked with, that not worked with. Don't get me wrong. I don't work with dogs. That's not my profession. But anyone that I've ever interacted with a good owner, man, those dogs are absolutely wonderful, wonderful dogs. Love them. Crystal looks as beautiful. I want one. Working lines too. Wow. Yep, 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 yep. But so I will say, crazy. My neighbor over here on this side, this neighbor here, has been in fact using the treat thing with him because he's really been doing the whole fence aggression with her. She's a sweet lady. Her and her husband both are sweet people, and she's been trying to give him treats to give him to build a relationship. However, I stopped her yesterday and I said, hold on. We got to do this the right way. Like, first of all, kudos to you for even wanting to try to build a relationship with my dog because I think we can live in harmony. And, so it's good for them and it's good for us to live in harmony. But you have to make sure that he's in a calm, submissive state before you reward him. Because what she was doing is she was trying to appease him, and you really can't appease a dog like this. At least my dog, you can't appease them. If you treat them while he's aggressively attacking the fence, you're only encouraging him to continue to do that. He's like, oh, this is how I get treats, is I continue to bust through this fence and bite you. So I told her, I says, no, tell him stop and sit. And guess what? She got her courage up and she says, sit. And then Rain absolutely sat down. I says, now give him the positive reinforcement. Come on, you could tell when people aren't used to like training dogs, because he did the activity. He did it was an amazing thing, guys. For my neighbor to tell him to sit and he actually obeyed, that was an amazing. It would deserve all the treat in the world. But she was kind of like looking at him, and I was like, no, you gotta stamp that as a positive thing. This is what you want. This is how you get the treats, is you behave, so they can associate their behavior. And so it was so funny to watch me and my neighbor and my Cane Corso at the fence line yesterday. And I was mowing the lawn, like I was in the front yard, and I kind of saw what was going on. I came over here to watch just to make sure that she was kind of understood. So sometimes you have to kind of train people to interact with your dogs because it's not necessarily intuitive how to handle your dog, how to handle dogs. You know what I mean? So there's like a learning curve for the human being to even teach the dog. Oh man. Lucky Crystal Lux says yes, I have had two before. Crazy says give her a big pack of your treats, and yeah, have to train the neighbors. Absolutely. Foodie says he's a gorgeous looking dog. I love how Hoss is stone gray color too. I don't like to see the ear crop though. Yeah, I mean that's okay. See, okay, here's a perfect example. Here's a neighbor. Okay, so see how he's attacking the fence line. Hello. Okay, I'll bring him inside the house for spraying. Come on, Rain. We gotta go inside. Come here. Come. It's okay. Take your time. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. So the neighbor's spraying for her weeds, and she was just and now you just letting me know. Come on, Stormy. Come on, baby. She let me know to keep the dogs away so they don't get injured by the spray. Very, very, very awesome people. I love my neighbors. Yes, that was awesome recall. That was fantastic. It took like a second though. He hesitated. It wasn't immediate, so it wasn't perfect, but it was good. Don't you go there. Let's go eat breakfast. Go inside. Go inside. So guys, we're gonna go eat breakfast anyway. No, 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 baby. You gotta go to the door. Go in your doggy door. All right, he's ready for breakfast too. Look, you can tell him. I'm not gonna take you into my house, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. Let everybody hang up like this is a phone call. You probably see me in the the reflection in the mirror. All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Hey, come back next Sunday, y'all. I enjoyed the conversation, and we can talk some more about some more things. But let me go feed my dogs. And I had a neighbor try to give Evie training treats. I've taught my dogs to accept treats from strangers. Yeah, no, that's a good topic. Okay, let's pick it up next time. So thank y'all for hanging out. Thank y'all for the 22 thumbs up. That's amazing. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the time y'all spend with me and the dogs. And I will see y'all hopefully next Sunday. I'll be here at 8:30 next Sunday. All right. Thank y'all. Peace out, y'all. But yeah, Haas, we'll keep the conversation next Sunday if you're around. All right, bye, y'all.